Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. The question is, did the Central Bank of Barbados give word to vendors in Barbados not to take the US dollar bill? That is the question. And some people who visit Barbados are wondering the same thing, as they have had a pushback. And the bottom line is, people are saying that Barbados is a tourist destination and they depend on the US dollar. So to exclude the dollar bill, it could be a problem. It could be a problem, okay? So this is someone who visited Barbados. Am I in the right place? Yes, I am in the right place. And this is an update regarding the US dollar. He said, Ian Purcell, that he just returned from Barbados and one vendor refused the US dollar bills, okay? Although the dollar bills that they were giving as payment were in pristine condition, they were still refused. And the grocery store in St. Lawrence Gap will not accept any American dollars unless they were new and crisp, okay? Our waitress at one restaurant in Oysters was happy about a tip of 5 US ones. There were 5 US dollars, but told him she would have to put it in her bank because she would not be able to spend them. There seems to be some idea that the US dollar, the dollar bill, might be counterfeit. I mentioned this in another blog. But of course, if someone were to go to the trouble to counterfeit money, they would produce larger denominations. That's what they're saying, not only singles. But I'm not sure what's going on. That's what this person said. But yeah, the US dollar bill in Barbados, people are saying that certain vendors are not accepting the US dollar bill, and they're wondering if the central bank has condoned that particular thing by, they may not be saying to vendors, hey, don't take the US dollar bill. I can't imagine anyone from the US, from the Central Bank of Barbados, saying that. They may not say that, but by not accepting the US dollar, the dollar, when people like deposit it into do they deposit dollar bills into the central bank, or is it that they take it to their banks and their banks tell them, we're not accepting the dollar bill because the central bank is not accepting the dollar bill? Because there's a pipeline, there's a process, okay? So ordinary people do not go to the central bank to give money. Let's take that away. So they'll go to their regular bank. And is it that they're being told via their tellers at the bank that they deposit their monies at, we cannot accept the US dollar, the single dollar bill, because the central bank is not going to accept it? Is that it? Is that it? You know, you need to find out more about this, because it's heating up in Barbados. This guy was in Barbados and he said that the van he got on did not accept his money. Now, he didn't say it was dollar bills. I asked for him to be specific. Well, what did you give them? But like we know, it's $3.50, and if he went to town and then he came back, he's going to need like at least $7, $8. So he could have had 5 singles that would have taken care of it, 5 singles, and in that way he wouldn't have had to have a lot of Beijing money, like money in his pocket, because he can't use it where he was going, okay? So he probably got 5 singles and pulled out 2 to pay the guy in the van, and the guy said, no, we don't take US cash. And he was, you know, someone paid in the bank, whatever. But I said that a lot of them think that the US dollar may be counterfeited, or for some reason the central bank is not taking it. But this lady said that she would have to put it in her bank. She said she will have to put it in her bank because she can't spend it anywhere, because she will not be able to spend them, so she will have to put it in her bank. But yeah, people want to know, is this something that the central bank in its own way is doing? And when you look here, I think I looked here and it says, see, and I asked the question, and it says, it did say in one of them, I probably moved away from it, that the central bank in Barbados accepts the US dollar That's what it said. I don't remember. Did I move away from it? I think probably I moved away from it. Let me see if it's here. Yeah, I probably moved away from it. But yeah, I did ask the question here on YouTube. Let me go back here. 1 second. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, I'm not seeing it here again. That's what happens with the internet. One time you do something and it's there, and next time you do it and you don't see it. Is the US dollar bill accepted in Barbados? 27 countries that do not accept US currency. You see, it's not, oh my goodness. Yeah, but it comes down to, it really comes down to the central bank. I think that maybe the central bank is not accepting the dollar bill. And the bottom line is, people in Barbados are saying that it is a tourist destination and they depend on the US dollar, whether it's $1, $5, $10, whatever it is, they depend on the US dollar. And if this needs to be straightened out, they don't need this hanging over their heads that people are saying, well, you know, it could be a dollar bill. The people in Barbados may not be accepting the dollar bill, the US dollar bill, but sometimes when that information is taken back home to America, then they may not say dollar bill. They may say, oh, they don't take US cash. They do not take US currency. You know, so they're not going to say the dollar bill. They're going to say, may say, people in Barbados are not accepting US cash. And it takes on a whole different flavor. It takes on a whole different flavor. So when you are not accepting one part of the US currency, you got to be careful with that, because that can blossom into something else, okay? But you need to talk to your central bank. People in Barbados need to talk to the central bank to find out what's going on with the US dollar bill in Barbados and why some vendors are not taking the US dollar bill in Barbados. Okay, you need to find out from your central bank, because I think I saw a female, she was talking about the dollar bill, the US dollar bill also. The US dollar bill. Yeah, she was talking about the US dollar bill also. But yeah, it's something that needs to be straightened out. I can only talk about it. People in Barbados are saying they are a tourist destination, and you don't need that. You don't need any confusion over money in Barbados. You just don't need that confusion, okay? So it needs to be straightened out so that when people go to book their flights to Barbados, that their travel agent say inadvertently, well, you know, they don't take US cash. You don't want that. You don't want that, because like I say, it may be just the dollar bill that you are not taking. But when people get back to where they came from, they'll be saying, they're not taking our money. They're not taking our money. So you need to be careful with that. People want to hear from the central bank. People need to hear from the central bank. If they are not taking the dollar when it comes from the other banks, are they not taking the US dollar? It needs to be answered. The question is, has the central bank in Barbados put out word whether it is, you know, it is underground word or what, however they're doing it? Did the central bank in Barbados say to any of their vendors, we are not taking $1 US cash, the $1 bill of US? We're not taking that particular denomination. Did the central bank say that? Does the central bank in Barbados refuse the $1 US bill when it comes through to them from the bigger banks, from the other banks or whatever? Is the same question, is the central bank in Barbados refusing the US dollar bill? That's the question. This is Sherry Veronica.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.